Hello there.
Denis Villeneuve's Arrival, a film in which its trailer had me hooked when seeing it in the theaters in 2016, and now it is 2023. Denis Villeneuve's Dune 2 is on the way, and I'm still yet to have seen Arrival. I own the movie on Blu-ray because my dad and brother purchased it to add it to our physical media collection, and still, I haven't seen it. So yeah, why not take the opportunity to capitalize on my YouTube channel and see it for the first time on here. I have seen his other films, you know, Dune, Prisoners, Blade Runner 2049, Sicario. Absolutely love them all. I adore his films, so I'm excited to see what's in store for Arrival. My name is Elie Moses, your 23-year-old law and film student here from Sydney, Australia, shooting his shot, baby. This is Denis Villeneuve's Arrival. Let's see what's in store. I'm hella excited. Let's get into the reaction. Let's have some fun. Let's go. I've heard great things about this film, and part of me wishes I could watch this on my 4K TV, because I've heard it's really amazing and the sound is amazing. But oh well, we watch it on my monitor, and maybe we can get to the stage one day where you can watch it on my TV and hopefully edit these properly. Getting interstellar vibes here. Man, this opening has been masterfully created, masterfully acted, masterfully scored, masterfully framed, masterfully lit.
But now I'm not so sure I believe in beginnings and endings.
Masterfully
There are
narrated.
days that define your story beyond your life. Like the day they arrived.
I'm Colonel G.T. Weber. We never formally met, but 2 years ago you did some Farsi translations for Army intelligence.
Oh.
You made quick work of those insurgent videos.
You made quick work of those insurgents.
You are on the top of everyone's list when it comes to translations.
Why am I listening so... I'm like, why am I listening so closely like I'm gonna be the one to translate
What do you
it?
make of it?
An agreement on sharing scientific discoveries looks closer tonight as Russia and China join talks at the United Nations. Meanwhile, financial
Foreshadowing.
markets around the world are in crisis as the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell over 2,000 points in its worst weekly decline in history.
Man, I wish I was in a theater to watch this. I wish I watched that time because I can tell the sound design would have been outstanding.
Colonel?
Galveston. He says it means an argument. What do you say it means?
A desire for more cows.
Pack your bags.
All right, give me 20 minutes.
Take off in 10.
My guy rocked up in an army chopper outside her house and just said, "Good morning. You're coming with me." Shout out Forrest Whitaker. You know, Denis Villeneuve has reused this shot, I think, 3 times now. Like, the same shot, but in different settings or different transitions and scene, where you have this slow, it's sort of like the camera moving slowly and panning slowly and moving towards this view of her house on outside the lake, or this ocean view, and I love the framing of it. I love the way sort of like the sliding doors, or if they are sliding doors, like the window is divided, but he's used that frame in the beginning of the film, then he used it before when she approached the window and she was sort of standing in the center right there, and it's like divided. It's like this is where Amy Adams is standing right there in that middle of the frame, and then right there it's reused again, that same shot, but to indicate that the chopper is leaving, and you can see in the right hand side sort of the dividing boxes, if that makes sense. Very clever, but I'm interested to see if it's going to be reused more, that similar shot, that recurring shot. The framing on that, man, is... What a shot. Wallpaper worthy. I love the eeriness of the music as well, sending chills down my spine. Honestly, like legit. It's like it's so shrouded in mystery so far. This is all done in one take so far. This sort of aerial bird's eye shot of the entire facility and moving into it. It was all done really well. Obviously, the camera is probably rigged on a chopper, but like, crazy.
At exactly 112 minutes and 19 seconds, when gravity starts to shift and slide us out of the room.
Have you found a scientific explanation for it? Like,
Hey,
is it
Australia!
for them?
Woo!
No, we think it's for us.
Wall, like a glass wall. You can't get to them.
So what do they look like?
You'll see soon enough. Hurry up.
I love how it feels like you're experiencing it for the first time with Ian and Luis as well. It's like you're asking the same questions they're asking. But it's like, don't worry, I'm going to take you on a journey with them. You're going to experience this like you're with it in that room. Like you're with them in that room, sorry. Bro. The way the camera moved into sort of that dark abyss of a rectangle. Scary. I can see where Jordan Peele also got some of the influence in Nope from, because he used similar shots for the engine of the ship as well, or the alien in Nope.
Dr. Donnelly, you good?
Man, the framing is phenomenal.
We're gonna go down there, and you're gonna start your job.
Was that the Dolby Atmos sound intro? I was like, what the heck? Sending chills down my goosebumps. Yo, whoever did the score for this film and the cinematography, I'm giving you a round of applause already. I'm interested. I want to ask, which character do you think you will be in this situation? Are you more like Louise Banks or Ian Donnelly in terms of like how you would react to if you were presented with this task? If you were, you know, walking up that hallway, that tunnel, that making that first contact, how would you be like reacting? More like in a state of like sort of shock and anxiety like Louise Banks, or more like sort of overwhelmed with curiosity and excitement like Ian Donnelly? But even even Donnelly was just you saw his reaction when he got off sort of like the lift the lift thing, and he was like, holy F, like what the heck, like it's just, yeah. It's really well crafted so far. bro. Some of the sounds almost sound didgeridoo like.
Dr. Banks, you can start.
You both have till 0200 hours to figure something out.
Okay, what happens then?
We go back.
Go back in.
You know what the noises kind of remind me of as well? It sounds like the Muto from 2014's Godzilla a little bit, mixed with some whale sounds. And the score, I'm not sure if that was the score before, when you had sort of like the aliens arriving from the mist, or from like the fog light, from the fog. You had sort of like, it reminded me of like a didgeridoo. If that was the score, or was that the aliens making their sound? But the ability of this film to incorporate the sound design with the framing and then edit it with the interactions or with the facial expressions of the characters, in my opinion, is making this film it's putting this film on the road to masterpiece so far. In my honest opinion, I'm listening through JBL like earphones only, and I'm getting chills from the sound design itself. It's absolutely phenomenal. And when it's paired with, these wide shots, and the wide shots either slowly panning in or slowly panning out, depending on what Denis Villeneuve is intending. Because I remember he was using a lot of slow panning shots in the beginning of the film, and then when he had them walking inside of that tunnel hallway thing leading up to the glass-like structure, the camera panned out, I guess, to showcase that. I don't know if it was just to showcase like how, the scale of this thing basically. And it's absolutely amazing so far. I didn't think this film would get me like this in the first 30 minutes.
Random clips of dialogue. Really, we have nothing.
Ah, come on, Australia. Get yourself together, man. We gotta be smarter than this. We can't have nothing. I wonder if Louise has like a recurring condition or something. Or if she's just in a state of shock at the moment.
What's that for?
A visual aid. Look, I'm never going to be able to speak their words if they are talking. But they might have some sort of written language or basis for visual communication.
Okay, let's get started.
Human.
I'm guessing the bird is used as like a welcoming call to show, or like
I'm human.
to indicate that they're here. Because obviously the aliens can't hear him through the... suits, I think. Every time these things emit sound, I'm getting goosebumps.
That's incredible.
I mean, all she did was get a whiteboard and write human on it.
Human.
Everything you're doing there, I have to explain to a room full of men whose first and last question is how can this be used against us? So you're gonna have to give me more than that.
Kangaroo.
What is that?
In 1770, Captain James Cook's ship ran aground off the coast of Australia, and he led a party into the country, and they met the Aboriginal people. One of the sailors pointed at the animals that hop around and put their babies in their pouch, and he asked what they were, and the Aborigines said, kangaroo.
And the point is?
It wasn't until later that they learned that kangaroo means I don't understand. So I need this so that we don't misinterpret things in there. Otherwise, this is going to take 10 times as long.
I can sell that for now. But I need you to submit your vocabulary words before the next session.
Yeah.
And remember what happened to the Aborigines. A more advanced race nearly wiped them out.
It's a good story.
Thanks. It's not true.
Oh,
But it proves my point.
I thought it was. I thought I learned something about, you know. Oh. I was like, that wasn't in the history books when I learned it in primary school about the kangaroo thing. But it does prove a point.
Well, that doesn't make any sense at all, does it?
You know what I'm interested to see? Clearly, there's a lot of nations cooperating with each other, you know, trying to implement different procedures, and obviously trying to get information or trying to get a response from these aliens or creatures. I'm interested to see whether there's a development in the film where a certain nation might find something out and they decide to conceive that information or conceal that information and not reveal it to the other nations that are cooperating with each other. Who knows? The US might do it in this film. She might find something out and they might not tell the other nations. The colonel might just say, keep that to ourselves because we want the American government to protect that information. We want it as our secret. You never know. You never know. But I'm just trying to predict some things.
Problem is, not everyone shares our policy of being open with the aliens. Have you met General Shang?
Oh, there we go.
Call sign for him is Big Domino. Whatever Shang does, at least 4 other nations will follow.
Okay, this is where you want to get to, right?
But it's too complicated so far.
First, we need to make sure that they understand what a question is. The nature of a request for information along with the response. Then we need to clarify the difference between a specific you and a collective you, because we don't want to know why Joe Alien is here. We want to know why they all landed.
Stick to your list. Just don't add anything to it.
He's got some sort of recurring condition or something like that. Kind of reminds me of Saving Private Ryan with Tom Hanks's character with the shaky hand, and then it stops at the end of the film. Spoilers.
Let's get started.
I think they're understanding animal communication. Woo.
Ian.
Louise. You. Who are you?
That's Squidward and that's Cthulhu. So Cthulhu's on the left, Squidward's on the right.
I don't know.
I was thinking Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm intrigued to see how they film this. Is that glass wall there a green screen? And they have individuals probably in motion capture with like tennis balls indicating what the aliens are.
No radiation. Nothing else we can detect either, but I'd give them a strong cocktail regardless.
It's the first time we've made significant progress.
You know what? I know in the beginning of the film, we saw that Luis had a child and that child died of cancer, but even now we haven't had any indication as to like who the father was. Not even like from memory, like a family portrait photo of her and her daughter at her desk at work, something along the lines. I don't think we've had that. Maybe that's maybe a future event, or something along the lines of that. Maybe these aliens have something to do with time travel, future stuff. I'm not too sure, but there hasn't been any indication of her having a child so far in the past. I know before she went down and put her palm over her face. I'm not sure if that was just sort of like a vision or something along the lines of that. Or a flashback, just her reminiscing of something her daughter had told her. And I'm gonna pay close attention whether she has the wedding ring on in scenes here, because I haven't
Right.
seen that on because there was a close-up shot of
Take
it
the
at the
risk.
beginning of the film, a gold wedding ring.
Honey, it's not gonna happen.
Oh man, for the love, don't kill
don't need
this
to worry.
man. Protect this man at all costs. His daughter asked, "Is the monster's gonna kill Daddy?" That's sad, man. I think she's seeing things, man. She doesn't have a wedding ring on her left hand. So I think maybe the things we're seeing with her daughter are things that haven't happened yet, or like a future with a daughter, or something along the lines of that. Unless she's just not wearing her wedding ring anymore, or she's divorced. But I'm interested to see how it plays out. But I love right there how as she was ruling out, the ruling out cancelled any score. And it's like it was like signified a transition to that scene with her daughter in the fields, playing with a pedal or like a caterpillar. But yeah, like the ruler ruled out any sound. It was a nice transition into it. And then in that scene right there, you only had diegetic sounds. So you had the sounds emanating from the real world, like natural nature sounds. And then you had sort of like the quick cut again, back to reality, back to the real world, where you had like sort of the distinct chatter in the background with everyone in the operations room. And everything, those chatter seemed really drained out as she was like processing what just happened. I like how we're having sort of the monologue of Ian, to signify like a transition in time, like they've been at this for a while.
Human languages, their writing is semisiographic. It conveys meaning. It doesn't represent sound. A heptapod can write a complex sentence in 2 seconds, effortlessly. It's taken us a month to make the simplest reply. Next, expanding vocabulary. Luis thinks it could easily take another month to be ready for that. I guess that's why I'm single.
Trust me, you can understand communication and still end up single.
Ian, shoot your shot, my guy. Oh my.
Oh.
I feel like everything that happens in there comes down to the two of us.
Yeah, it's a good thing though, right? You and I? You seen the jokers that we're working with? I'm glad I got you.
Maybe these two get married in the future. Who knows? And because of the radiation, I know that they said the radiation exposure is limited, but maybe because of that.
Biological contamination is a major risk factor at the Montana site, so say environmental pressure groups. 800,000 march on Washington to
Maybe because of that exposure to the radiation is why her daughter gets cancer.
protest the government's handling of the crisis.
Is there some sort of telekinetic connection here? Or telepathic, sorry. Telepathic.
Okay. You know it's okay to be sad that your dad and I...
I'm not.
Oh, divorcing?
So we both love you very much.
Hence they don't have the ring?
It's just a cartoon, not real.
Louise?
I'm not sure it's something I can explain.
When was your last checkup with Dr. Keller?
I'm okay.
I think there might be some sort of connection like to an alternate reality Luis or something along the lines of that, where she's seeing a future version of herself. It's or something along the lines of maybe like the ending of Donnie Darko. If you guys have seen that film, I just watched it for the first time like a month ago, where the individuals at the end of the film sort of had that connection of what they've been through, even though it was like the present time. They've had that connection of what happened in the alternate timeline, if that makes sense. I think I'm saying that right. You might have that connection to her other self or her future self.
Okay.
Because she's saying it's something that I can't explain. And maybe as the audience, we're meant to be thrown off by that, but saying that it's going to be difficult for her to explain that situation. She's finding it hard to express herself because her daughter passed away. But it might be that she's seeing things and it's hard to explain. Because either the flash forwards or flashbacks are becoming more prominent now as she's come into contact with this.
I mean, I've had a few dreams, but I don't think that that makes me unfit to do this job.
Holy fucking... Yo, she need to get some sleep, bro. She need to get some sleep. She ain't sleeping. Sleep does wonders, man. Oh, that jump scare got me with the heptapod, Squidward looking ass motherfucker in the corner of the room. Man, that got me. That got me. I didn't expect that. And then right there, you know what I thought was gonna happen? As she was speaking, you had the not the dialogue of the bird, but you had the chirps of the bird, and they were getting louder and louder. So what I was thinking is that they're gonna cut to them in the tunnel again, or in the room with the heptapods again. I thought they were gonna cut to that. I thought it was gonna be a transition, but no, it wasn't.
Why?
Well, let's say that I taught them chess instead of English. Every conversation would be a game, every idea expressed through opposition. Victory, defeat, you see the problem?
That's dangerous.
If all I ever gave you was a hammer.
Everything's a nail.
Imagine the two heptapods represent them two as a couple. That would be crazy. It's like them two are trying to communicate with them two through like...
What does it say?
Some time warping mechanism or something.
But you saw what they wrote.
Using a word they don't fully
Just
understand.
warning.
Enough. Luis.
We don't know if they understand the difference between a weapon and a tool.
We need to sit on this information till we know what it means. So we aren't sharing it with our enemies. We have to consider the idea that our visitors are prodding us to fight among ourselves until only one faction prevails.
There's no evidence of that.
Sure there is.
Prediction on point. Give my title, baby.
British with India, the Germans with Rwanda. They even got a name for it in Hungary.
Remember what I said about keeping secrets? Now it's descending into total anarchy.
Confirmation, they are offline.
Hey, Australia, stay online, baby. Stay online. Yeah, give me a scene at the United Nations. I want to see all the governments talking. I want to see what's gonna go down. Probably get physical in there.
Captain Mark, Condor, not receiving transmission. Well, twice if you hear mine.
Don't tell me they're gonna detonate some C4 in there. I swear there were more than two heptapods
Dr. Banks,
in the beginning.
I just need to ask one question.
Dr. Banks.
Offer a weapon? Question mark.
Has Captain Marks received orders from someone else to plant the C4?
Are you offering us something?
What's he doing?
Oh, he angry. I never heard him fist bump. Maybe he can sense the C4 in there?
On your 10.
And that's like a warning? A warning?
Until it's done. Copy that. 40 shots of suppressive
Yeah, they got orders from someone else. Casualties, you got 2 in there. I reckon they're trying to warn them. Yeah, she's using the force, fam. Yeah, she got them. Where Yoda at? Where's Yoda? Maybe Abbott is connected to Banks, AB, and Costello is connected to Donnelly, CD. Yo, the glass is touchscreen, baby. Hey, what do octopuses do when they see a threat? They squirt a lot, don't they? They squirt the ink. I'm guessing this might be a defensive mechanism here. I'm having too many guesses, and I doubt I'm right, but... Yo, they ain't disarming this. Oh. They just saved their lives. And they sense the threat. You know what I love about that tunnel vision shot right there, the hallway shot, is that once Denis Villeneuve and his cinematographer, I checked the cinematographer before I saw the film, because I was curious to see whether it's the same cinematographer as Dune, the Oscar-winning Greg Fraser, who's actually Australian as well, because he did the cinematography on the Batman as well. And I love Greg Fraser's work in those 2 films. In fact, I love to study it because I think he's a great cinematographer, but it's not the same cinematographer. But once that shot of the hallway was established earlier on in the film, I love the different ways it's been sort of manipulated and utilized with like just maybe a tilt of the camera or different camera angle. Because before you had that shot where the camera was sort of tilted to the right and you saw a different angle or perspective from it. It's great.
What is that?
Oh, they didn't have orders. It was just that other soldier from the conspiracy podcast.
Whoever came and got him maybe 10 minutes ago.
We may have to evacuate.
No, that's the wrong move. As long as they stay, we have to stay.
What if they dip? Yo, Squidward and Cthulhu are hitting the nos. They're getting the F out of here.
Well, they're not leaving.
Or maybe they're just making it harder to get to them.
How does this feel worse?
With a huge buildup of forces at their landing sites, Pakistan, Russia, and Sudan are thought to be following China's lead.
You know, it makes you think if a situation like this played out in the world, with like aliens arriving, what everyone's responses will be. And this film, I feel like, does a decent job at providing different perspectives. You know, it's only done it minimally in terms of like seeing the people's responses through like, you know, you had the podcast guy, you had the marches on the Capitol through the news feeds and things like that. And we've had sort of like with dialogue and news reports about what's going on at the UN, other responses of countries. But you've also, I think, the recent pandemic, I guess, provided a good indication of certain responses from governments and responses from people as well. You saw how society responded to the pandemic, and I don't want to go into too much detail, but there was certain things that was happening in Australia as well, with like in terms of like toilet paper scare and people fighting in supermarkets over just day-to-day things or things you'd buy on a daily basis, and that was due to a pandemic. Imagine if aliens came down. Like,
Thank you.
these flash forwards or flashbacks with the daughter situation, or if it's an alternate reality, alternate future, whatever, they're inserted with a purpose, because as Ian said, this is going to take years for us to decipher and to figure out the rapid spread, or the rapid symbols, the rapid spread of symbols in a single sort of how do I explain it? Like how they squirted on the glass with in a quick fashion. There's so many symbols there, and it was quickly interchanged with the daughter talking to her mother, to Louise, about figuring out the meaning of a term, or trying to find a certain phrase to communicate something. And even though she knew what she wanted to communicate, she couldn't figure out the exact phrase for it. And maybe Ian can figure it out. You never know. But I'm just wondering whether the daughter is used as a mechanism to communicate from the future to her.
You cracked something, didn't you?
Yeah, come here.
I said maybe Ian can do it.
Take a look at this section. It seems to be talking about time. Their symbol for time is everywhere. So what is this? A formula for faster than light travel? Who can tell? There are too many gaps. Nothing's complete.
Ask your father, the scientist.
0.0833 recurring. Perhaps you'd like that as a fraction. 1 of 12.
In their final session, the aliens said, "There is no time. Many become one."
Yeah, all the one joined
I fear
together.
We have all been given weapons. If anyone is receiving this, please.
Many become one. All 12 become one.
Well, I mean,
Why? Hand it out to us in pieces. Why not just give it all over?
what better way to force us to work together for once?
Even if I did believe you, how in the world are you going to get anybody else to play along?
He needs to
Give
get a
up the
direct
data.
line with China.
We
Put on a
offer ours in
direct line
return.
with China.
A trade? It's a non-zero sum game.
Non-zero sum game.
That's it. Yeah. Thanks.
It's like they figured it out in the present time. We're dealing with the aliens, and she figured it out in the future because she's got some sort of like alternate reality connection, I reckon, through time, with her future self or her past self. And it's so kind of reminded me of the Donnie Darko connection, or the Donnie Darko ending. That makes sense. But yeah, she needs to get on a direct line with China to figure this out. But it's very cleverly edited, this film.
What we need is
Communicate
to get all
through the
aliens
aliens?
online before one starts global war, and there's no way for us to reach them. Well, hold on a second. There is. It's right above us.
Get the aliens to communicate through them. I was about to say, why did that thing look like my JBL speaker?
The Pentagon's convinced our shell will retaliate.
What the hell is she doing?
Maybe the purpose of the aliens was to come here and get everyone in the world to work together for once. I'm telling you, that thing right there, that pod has Bluetooth. Like, I'm gonna connect to it and start jamming my Spotify playlist. It looks like my JBL speaker. Or is this King's Cross Station? I'm just waiting for Dumbledore to show up. Oh, that thing looks like a Dementor. The scale is amazing in this thing, in this film. Sorry. Like mega. It looks like a bird. Oh no, I was about to say, because you know how the pigeons have like the big puffy area and then the small head.
Where's Abbott?
I love how through the framing of that glass, we thought we were getting what they look like when Denis Villeneuve concealed. Like we thought, the secret was out. We thought we knew what they looked like, and we got part of the picture only through the fantastic framing of that glass window. They were only basically cut off short. The scaling and gravitas of this film, oh, so good.
I'm sorry.
That's scary.
We're sorry.
Maybe the weapon is her mind.
I don't understand.
That's the weapon.
What is your purpose here?
To scare the crap out of Elie Moses. That's what I said. Remember, all 12, their purpose is to get humanity to work together. Oh.
How can you know the future?
There we go. The future, baby.
The show is called Mommy and Daddy Talk to Animals.
Bruh, the bird. Man, that's a painful future.
No, wait!
Yo, she didn't even have to use Expecto Patronum on his ass. He just dipped quickly. Oh, you know what the ship looks like? It looks like the rock she was throwing, her daughter was throwing, or picking up.
Believe it or not, I know something that's going to happen.
Oh,
I can't explain how I know, I just do.
the cancer.
And when I told your daddy, he got really mad. And he said I made the wrong choice. And it's unstoppable. Kind of like you are. Your swimming. And your poetry and all the other amazing things that you share with the world.
I am unstoppable.
I reckon it's worse knowing that that's gonna happen. And so she must have told Ian later down the line, and that's why he left her.
I just realized why my husband left me. My husband left me.
You were married?
What if the universal language is time?
Hey, look, we're done here.
So she's connecting to her future self and using the book she wrote in the future to translate in the past or the present that's happening now. Sorry, the present.
I can read it.
She just downloaded all that knowledge she had in the future to her
I
present
know
self.
what it is.
What?
It's not a weapon. It's a gift.
The weapon is their language. They gave it all to us. Do you understand what that means?
So we can learn Heptapod, if we survive.
If you learn it, when you really learn it, you begin to perceive time the way that they do. So you can see what's to come. But time, it isn't the same for them. It's non-linear.
Look, we did our best, but it wasn't enough.
Now, 18 months ago, you did something remarkable. Something not even my superior has done.
What's that?
You changed my mind. You're the reason for this unification. All because you reached out to me on my private number.
I called you, didn't I?
Did she call him through?
Yes, you did. You told me my wife's dying words.
Damn.
将军
And that's
他受你名聘致啊
that's how he knew she knew
Found the source of the phone call.
like what was going
Waiting
on
for instructions.
because she was able to say that.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Changing someone's mind. Can you buy me 20 seconds?
It's like this film's inception moment. I wonder what that translates to in Mandarin.
All 12 landing sites continues this evening. The two questions on
Hold on,
everyone's
we
mind.
are
What's
just
happening
hearing.
now?
And I'm being told we're going to cut this report to tell you breaking news.
now. China has called an emergency press conference.
Oh, it just dissolved like that into the cloud. That... So even though her daughter dies, it's obviously gonna help 3,000 years in the future as well, because they understand the language now and they have time to process it and fully understand it when they come down to communicate eventually. There we go. Remember I said Denis Villeneuve used that shot 3 times with the camera panning down or moving forward into her living room or area of living, and he's done it again at the end of the film. But that's fate. She can't stop her daughter passing away or her and Ian having Hannah dying, even though she knows it's going to be cancer. It's not like a situation of like, oh, I'm going to detect the cancer early. It's uncurable or incurable, sorry.
This is where your story begins. The day they departed, despite knowing the journey and where it leads. I embrace it,
Yeah, she's going to have to take it on.
and I welcome every moment of it.
That's sad, man. I'm getting teary-eyed because I know how it ends. Even though it's for one individual, even though it's just for Hannah, it's for this family, sorry. It's just for one family. It still sucks.
You ready, babe?
I'm naming my daughter Hannah now.
Daddy.
Hopefully Hannah's death brings them back together. Hopefully. We didn't see the future.
Yeah.
If you could see your whole life from start to finish, would you change things?
Maybe I'd say what I feel more often. I don't know.
I feel like what's written is written. You can never change your fate. So eventually the reason why Ian leaves is because she has the baby and doesn't tell Ian till after she has the baby that she's gonna die of cancer. She was ready to embrace it, but Ian wasn't. But I wonder maybe if she would have told him earlier. Or she should have told him earlier and changed it, but I guess that defeats the purpose of her embracing her fate.
To be held by
You want to make a baby?
I'm holding back the tease, man. The music! Stop it! Allow it, fam!
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, man, that's a beautiful film. Beautiful film. Absolutely beautiful film. Like, the word beautiful is encompassed by this film. Like, I feel like beautiful is a perfect way to describe this film, because I remember seeing the trailer for this in 2016 and being intrigued by the alien concept, right? But now that I've matured a bit, because I was like, I think 16 at the time when this film came out. Now that I've matured a bit, I really understand the meaning of this film and how the alien concept or the use of aliens is just a driving force, for the meaning of this film, talking about time, fate, and the other meaning of dealing with the theme of working together as a human race, and humanity, and it's the driving force of this film is just the driving force of this film is told through this one family, but the whole concept, it's just I don't know how to articulate my words here, but it's so perfectly crafted in my opinion. And my question is, at the end, like I was saying, is that she could have told him earlier on that she saw that through the aliens. He probably would have believed her because of the connection she had with, was it Abbott and Costello? Yeah, Abbott and Costello. But she doesn't decide to tell him till after they have the baby. And I wonder, you never know, they could get back together in the future. But yeah, it's just like maybe the decision to not to tell him early on, or to when to have the baby, or even before when he asked, "Do you want to have the baby?" She said yes straight away. Because I think the reason that could be explained is in her monologue at the end. In terms of her saying she wants to embrace it, she wants to, take it on. It is what it is. That's fate. I'm not gonna try and change that. And yeah, oh man, it was a beautifully crafted film, fantastically shot, fantastically scored, amazing in general. So I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to Arrival, ladies and gentlemen. It's been your boy Elie Moses. Take care. God bless. Have a lovely day and peace.